So after the whole disaster with Windows 8, Microsoft decided, okay, we need to fix this problem, so let's run out 8.1 and that will supposedly help make people happy. Supposedly.
Recline.
Don't get me wrong, I have always been a PC person. I learned how to use PCs as a child. I used Macs at school. They're not quite the same for me. I still enjoy PCs. But Microsoft, what are you thinking? You can't just say, okay, we are going to fix Windows 8 by giving you 8.1, when 8.1 is technically just a slightly different version of Windows 8. For example, one of their things that they are really touting is the fact that, hey, we gave you a start button, just like you always wanted. So let's go see how the start button works.
So let's take a look at our Windows 8.1 start menu, which is right down here at the corner. They actually give us a start button now. So if we click on that and... what the heck? Seriously, okay, we don't need that. This takes us right back where we were. I mean, you could hit the start button menu on the keyboard and it'll take you right there. See? That's so ridiculous.
What was the point of that? Seriously, what was the point? Because if you can just click on that corner and it takes you to the same page that nobody likes, it doesn't change the fact that people don't like it. And seriously, that is the one thing that's really different about Windows 8.1 compared to Windows 8. Because if you look at Windows 8.1, all that's really different is the start button that takes you right back to where you didn't want to go to begin with. But you could always change the aesthetics. That's all that's really different. Aesthetic differences. Having a nice looking PC is kind of nice. But it's not a game changer. It's not going to make me say, oh, this is gold. This is what will make Windows 8 so much better. We just make them be able to change the backgrounds and go directly from your starting up computer to the desktop instead of going to the start screen. I mean, that's not a deal breaker. It's not. And then they upgraded the Windows Store, which, if you don't know, that's where you go to buy apps like games or useful apps or the junk apps that are just rip-offs of everything else there to make money based off of you buying them. There are also some free ones. Yeah, okay, so it's upgraded. Let me see here. The old one, they would make it easier to search for things. Like, if you're looking for a game, you could say, I want a fantasy-based game or an RPG adventure game. You can search through the entire selection of free games, but you can't limit them in any way to say, I want the free action-adventure games. See, let's take a look.
Okay, so let's go to our Windows Store through the Windows Start button of pointlessness, and let's go to the store. So let's say that we're in the store and we want to buy some games. Well, let's go to our games category. You got there by right-clicking and then go into the option. So let's say I want to look at the top free because top free is what I want. There's no way to search for a game in particular by category or anything of the sort. I mean, I don't even... You could go from top free to the see all and then hope that you can find... Oh, they actually do have categories. I didn't even realize that. Well, that does make it better, but why didn't they have it in the other spot too? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. They could have had it in the other area just as easily.
How's that better? That's not better. I mean, you made an aesthetically pleasing store, but you didn't really give me anything to make my searching experience better.
My opinion has slightly changed due to the fact that I did find a search in all apps, but it should be in both places.
And yes, I know, aesthetics are important. Aesthetics will make you visually pleasing, if not better. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have a computer where you go, okay, my start screen has a nice, beautiful background. Yeah, okay, that's good. Oh yes, when I turn on my computer after it's been asleep, it'll show me a nice picture that I've always wanted to see. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Deal changer? Hell no. One thing that is nice, though, is the fact that they do make it easier to use multiple apps on one screen at a time. If you don't mind having a smaller screen space to work with all these apps, because if you look at them, you have a screen, and this is for my laptop, for example. My laptop is a 15.6 screen across, and in one way it's nice because I could have multiple apps going. I could have half the screen devoted to this or the other half devoted to that, and yeah, that's nice. They built up on that concept from the Windows 8 and made it better in 8.1 so you could do more of that kind of thing. But I'm the kind of person who needs to have the screen devoted mostly to one thing. To me, that's just the way I work. I don't like to have multiple things going on at once because I get distracted. And I don't want to be distracted. Granted, if a lot of people can do that, that's fine. If you can do that, then fine, go ahead and do that. For me, it's not a deal breaker. For anyone, I don't think it's a deal breaker. Oh, and SkyDrive is apparently a lot better now. I don't use it. Maybe I should, but I don't use it. But in order to use SkyDrive, here is the thing. You need to have a Microsoft Hotmail account, and that account needs to be tied to your user account on your computer. For example, if my Hotmail account was blah blah blah, I would need to link up that blah 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 account to my user account on my laptop, so that way I can sign in using a password. So if my blah 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 password is BBB, I would have to do BBB, and then I could get in. But the internet is not a safe place. The internet is really not safe. People can hack your email accounts and anything like that, and if they do that, they can get the information to get into your computer. So then if they take your computer, or they... you know where I'm going with this. This is just a security thing that I don't think is very secure. Because if they can get that information online, they can use it to get into your computer. Your computer is therefore not very safe. But you could have a separate password, and you could say, okay, I want my password to be... then, yeah, you're secure because no one's going to guess that. I don't even know what I just said. And yeah, you could say, okay, well, you don't need to do that. If you want to get apps from the store, you now have to essentially have that. Because if you don't have that, then they're not going to link up the information to your account with Hotmail, because they now do everything linked up to that, and it is just ridiculous. So this is how I feel about Windows 8.1. Yeah, there are a few differences compared to Windows 8. Yes, I get that. I get that you're trying to at least make people feel a little bit better about it, but it's not going to change anybody's mind. Microsoft thinks that this is the way of the future? No. No, it's not the way of the future. It's the way of everybody now going to something like a Chromebook or a Mac, because people are not going to want to deal with how you radically change things. If you wanted to bring in this whole new concept of how you're going to use the Windows PCs, then you need to do it more gradually than saying, here, take it, and you'll enjoy it. What they should have done was bring it in a little bit at a time, and when people said, no, then they should have said, okay, no. But instead, what they're saying is, oh yes, money, money, you're smelling so good, and that's just plain embarrassing. So what do you think about Windows 8.1? Are you a Windows user? Were you a Windows user? Are you a Windows 8 user? Or are you really stubbornly staying away from it? Either way, just comment below, share your thoughts, and let's see how everyone feels about this. Thank you for watching. Cheerio and farewell.